pick up that fork, and it's like, to be or not to be. So that's the question. Do I eat this last bite or do I not? Hi, I'm Addy from the Gastric Couple, and I'm here to give you just a couple little things today that I thought might help you as a veteran of the gastric bypass surgery that I had. And I will be 4 years out in this December. So one of the things that I've learned over the course of these few years is there comes to a point where you'll start eating kind of regularly, but you're still not going to be able to eat just whatever you want, whenever you want, and you're still going to have to eat, small. Your stomach's never going to be huge again, like it was. So you're still going to have to eat portion controlled and everything, but if you saw my story, my doctor, he's funny guy, and my goal weight was, since I wasn't having the surgery because I wasn't obese, I was overweight but not obese, and I had it for 2 conditions to cure those. So he told me, I said, well, I want to get to a goal weight, what if I go through it? He said, well, start eating pizza. And he just kind of laughed, and I think he was being truthful though. So now that I'm around 125 pounds, I do eat pretty much what I want. I don't have to worry about it, and I kind of fluctuate between 120 and 125 pounds. I get back, yo-yo between those 5 pounds. So I do kind of eat what I want. I know that sounds like a hard thing, right? I mean, like, you guys really want to hear that. That probably makes you guys mad. Like, I would hate to hear that when I'm trying to lose weight, but you know what? You'll get there too. So that's something to look forward to, that you're going to get to your goal weight and be able to eat stuff you like. You'll like that. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, as I'm here, there is a point though that I still struggle with to this day. And that is when I am eating something I like, or I still eat healthy a lot, but I get to the point where I'll have this, I'll still have a lot left over on my plate because I can't clean a whole plate off or anything. But I have this bite on my fork, and it's that bite that's either going to throw you over to that hurtling, doubled over, discomfort that you get, when you have to go lay on the couch and moan and groan for 15-20 minutes, or it's that bite you can just drop down on your plate and get up and go away and still be full, but not miserable and making yourself sick full. And that's what I wanted to tell you about, because we all know where that point is for us. And I even have it to this day, even though I can still eat what I want. But, pick up that fork, and it's like, to be or not to be. So that's the question. Do I eat this last bite or do I not? My answer is always no. put it down. I'm not going through that misery. There's no excuse. It doesn't taste that good. I'm putting it down, and I'll just wrap up my leftovers. No big deal. I'd rather not feel the pain. So I wanted to talk to you about that. And another thing I wanted to mention to you is I'm a nurse, and I'm seriously gonna sound like an idiot to you guys, but I'm being honest. I'm just being honest with you. But I didn't know what dumping was for a long time, and I heard about it before surgery. And I was like, oh great, hope I don't get that. That's awful, embarrassing, da da da. Well, I also had my gallbladder taken out after I had my twin boys, and which is common after pregnancy. So, got a little hair there, sorry. My own hair sticking to my lip gloss. After your gallbladder, you can get dumping syndrome as well, but it's a different type of dumping syndrome. It's the kind that leaves you running to the bathroom because your food digests a different way. So when I heard dumping syndrome for the gastric bypass, I just thought it was the same thing, and I never inquired about it. I just thought, oh, I knew it all. That's what it is. Not the same at all. So I went a long time and didn't know what dumping syndrome was. I was having it, but I didn't know what it was. So finally, it occurred to us one day, and we looked it up or something. Somebody mentioned it. It might have been on YouTube. We saw it, and it was like an aha moment between Joe and I, and we saw what it was about. So I still had a glucometer, or blood sugar checker upstairs, because I had to check my blood sugars during my story complications, and I still had one from when I had my special IV in that I had to be fed at night through my IV. I had one of those, so we ran and got it, and we checked my blood sugar, and it was only 33. And I freaked out about that, because you should be around 100. And as a nurse and seeing 33, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what happens every time I'm dumping. I mean, if I had known that, I would have had a little orange juice or something just to make myself feel better. And I don't know if you guys know exactly what it is. If not, if you're watching and you don't know what it is, or you're new, and or if you haven't had the surgery, but what happens is sometimes it's if people eat sweets. That's not usually me. I'm not a sweet person. Well, I am sweet, but I don't have a sweet tooth. Or it could be like a lot of carbohydrates, which may have been me, because I do like carbs. It's comfort food for me. I have trouble getting my protein in, to be honest with you. But that was probably what it was for me. And so what happens is you eat these foods that are really, that's why you have to have so much protein. So you eat these foods, and what happens is the insulin in your body dumps all this insulin to cover that food you just ate, and your blood sugar goes way down. So you feel all the symptoms of a low blood sugar, which is nausea, can be shaking, it's sweating, like take your clothes off kind of sweating, you're so hot, and the diaphoresis, and you're laying around moaning and groaning. It's just miserable. It's not fun for you guys who've had it before. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that's the dumping syndrome. I just wanted to clarify that if any of you didn't know that. If you do, great. Just stay away from it. It's not fun. So, and then let me just tell you one more thing. Joe was going to cover this because it's his idea, but I'll just jump in and say it real quick because it doesn't need its own video. But like we've said before, we don't really go out to eat very much because it's really not worth it to us. Like if we go out to eat and order our own entree, we can get 3 or 4 meals out of the entree. The portion controls out there, they're meaning to make American fat. I mean, it's just the truth, and it's really sad. So, we could get 3 or 4 meals out of it, and we boxed it up right away. So, what he's done, he says, you know how you have, before surgery, you go to a restaurant and you look at your plate when it's brought to you in the presentation, and you say, oh wow, okay, that's the last bite right there. That looks good. Instead of saving that to the last bite, now he eats those 2-3 bites in the beginning. Those are his first bites because he doesn't want to save them to the end because it's just going to be leftovers then. So he goes ahead and takes those pretty decorated presentation bites. He goes ahead and takes those for his first few bites now. And it really is clever because they're not going to be there. We're going to have leftovers the next 3 or 4 days with them. So I thought that was kind of cute. But anyway, and most of the time we'll just share, but both of us will have leftovers the next day with the same entree. So we don't really go out a whole lot. It's just more hassle than anything. And, finding something to eat that's really healthy and not loading it up with all the stuff. You can't usually find anything. So, and then, of course, if you do, order something yourself, you've picked, 3, 4, 5 bites, and then the rest, the waitress comes back and looks at your plate still full and, looks at you like you're crazy. So it's just that kind of stuff, that we don't really enjoy to do that anymore, so. And you feel like you're so hungry, and you get there and you eat 4 bites and you're done. It's just like, oh, never mind. So anyway, those are just a few things I want to share today. And I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and you guys have a great day. I'm Addy from the Gastric Couple, and I'm out.